Donald Trump has found himself in a bit of a catch-22. If he goes out on the campaign trail, he is inevitably embarrassing himself, humiliating himself, and showing voters just how unfit he is while he makes them uncomfortable. He off-puts them with every strange statement he says or weird and false attack on Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. We saw this yesterday in his North Carolina speech that was supposed to be about the economy, but didn't really land in a single way. The economy is booming right now because President Biden and Kamala Harris not only recovered Donald Trump's failures, Donald Trump's huge job losses, but the economy is booming under the Biden-Harris administration. Inflation is down to the lowest number since 2021, and job growth is up as American manufacturing hits new highs. These are successes that Donald Trump can't attack, and his record is one of failure. And so he wanders and meanders and spits out lies and really just makes himself look ridiculous as he goes off teleprompter to talk about Hannibal Lecter and sharks and whatever thing is crossing his mind that day. But if Donald Trump doesn't go out on the campaign trail, which you think would be better for him considering how poor of a job he does speaking now and always has, but when he doesn't go out on the campaign trail, it really starts up the media narrative that I'm finally glad is out there, that Donald Trump is not only too unfit to be president, too much of a criminal to be president, too much of a already proven disaster to be president, but he is too old. He is too weak. He is too worn down. He is too tired. Trump is too tired. He's doing about 1 to 2, and 2 is really pushing it, campaign events a week for the past 3 weeks. He is unable to get out on the campaign trail, and when he does, it's either in a red state or at a golf club. And that is exactly what he did today. He is campaigning in New Jersey, a state that I think I'm sure he's down 15 points to Kamala Harris, if not more. He is campaigning, and it's not even campaigning, it's just kind of holding a fake rally, fake press conference at his Bedminster Golf Club. And it is not a good look for Donald Trump. Not only is it not a good look, Donald Trump doesn't look good, as we can see in this video. I don't want to get into any body shaming, but all I'll say about this video is that Donald Trump he's not looking great. Not a great shape to Trump. And it's not just that leaked video that was captured of Donald Trump looking not great. I don't want to talk about the ways he looks bad. I want to talk about the ways that he's going to hurt our country, so we're going to leave that right there. But it's not just that leaked video. Donald Trump was hilariously mocked before his speech could even begin. It was such a disaster that before it could start, it was already a dumpster fire because he was hilariously mocked in 2 ways. The first being by George Conway and his anti-psychopath pack, and the second in a hilarious takedown from the Harris campaign. And I want to check out both, but let's look at what George Conway had to say. The anti-psychopath pack are putting up these billboards outside of Bedminster that say, "Attention Bedminster golfers, Trump cheats." Really just hilarious stuff from the anti-psychopath pack. I'm sure that is going to get under Donald Trump's skin and maybe make him freak out a little bit more during the speech. But what I think is really going to upset him, what'll really bother him, is this press release put out from the Harris campaign, and I want to get into it. The Harris-Walz campaign released a media advisory in advance of former President Trump's press conference that ridicules the GOP rival on many levels. Trump has planned a press conference for Thursday afternoon to be held at his Bedminster residence golf resort in Bedminster, New Jersey, just 1 week after he held a similar event in Mar-a-Lago, which saw the former president tell tales of helicopter accidents with Willie Brown and crowd comparisons better than Martin Luther King Jr. It's not clear what Trump intends to address specifically. However, it's conceivable that seeing his lead in the polls against Kamala Harris entirely disappear in the past few weeks, he is trying to shift the momentum back to his re-election campaign by speaking to the media directly. The Harris campaign seized on the opportunity to make a mockery of the Trump affair with this press release. Today, Donald Trump to ramble incoherently and spread dangerous lies in public, but at a different house. Today at 4 p.m., Donald Trump, loser of the 2020 election by 7 million votes, will hold another public meltdown in Bedminster, New Jersey. Date and time, Thursday, August 15th, 2024, at 4:30 p.m. Venue, not a battleground state. Preview, not so fresh off the NABG, Florida, and Twitter glitches, Donald Trump intends to deliver another self-obsessed rant full of his own personal grievances to distract from his toxic Project 2025 agenda, unpopular running mate, and increasing detachment from the reality of the voters who will decide this election. These remarks will not be artificial intelligence, but they certainly will lack intelligence. Banning abortion, raising costs on families, confusing basic facts, cutting Social Security and Medicare, blocking border security, and being publicly unstable, unfit, and unwell will not help his struggling campaign for president. Tune in for the same old thing. Donald Trump out on the campaign trail never says anything new to move the needle with voters. He only says something strange and new to put voters off and make them move over to Kamala Harris, which we're seeing a lot of lately because Donald Trump can't land a message. He's never been able to, but now it's much worse. It's much, much worse. And someone who talked about that was Jessica Tarlov.
It's not actually the best day, though, for him to be doing this because the inflation report was a good one. So we're under 3% for the first time since March 2021. It's 15 months that we've seen wage growth go over the inflation rate, which is what everyone wants to see. There was a report out that our U.S. Crude oil production is now 13.4 million barrels a day. So we're outpacing 35% ahead of Russia, 38% ahead of Saudi Arabia. And what we're seeing in the surveys about this, like in Michigan, for instance, there was a FT and the Ross School of Business did a poll together of voters there, and they actually rated Kamala Harris as more trustworthy on the economy than Donald Trump.
The Biden-Harris economy is booming right now, and all Donald Trump has to compete with is his failed economic record. What's so incredible about this campaign, more so than any we've seen in a long time, is that we have two crystal clear records. One candidate was already president and failed, and that's why he lost. That's why we booted him out. The other candidate has succeeded at historic levels as vice president and has worked alongside one of the most successful, if not, well, certainly the most successful president of my lifetime, delivering an incredible comeback to America following Donald Trump's failures. Kamala Harris has shown what she can do in the face of crisis, and in the face of crisis, Donald Trump crumbled. So we have our two options, clear as day on record alone. But then there's also the fact of the difference between these two people. And that's perfectly described in this ad from the Lincoln Project.
Old, weak.
Many don't feel he is fit.
Sick, tired.
Too old to serve.
Stammering, slurring.
He was ranting and raving.
Slipping, forgetting.
And the guy just kept getting confused.
Slow.
Panic has certainly set in.
You know which politician we're talking about, right? Oh, you thought it was about Joe Biden?
Venezuela, it's unbelievable.
Is he all right?
Let's think about some more words. Liar.
I have absolutely no idea who this woman is.
Criminal. Rapist.
I'm here because Donald Trump raped me.
Scammer.
I can say very clearly President Trump is a liar.
Con man. Gross. Vain.
I don't care about you, I just want your vote.
Cruel.
You are a rude, terrible person.
Disgusting. Creep. You know exactly who we're talking about.
You won't have to vote anymore.
Don't you?
Like I said at the beginning of this video, Donald Trump has two options. Hold terrible rallies that lose him more voters, or hold no rallies and lose voters because they know he is too old to do the job. And age is something that can be of tremendous benefit to a president. Take President Biden, whose age and experience and expertise helped him become one of the greatest presidents in the history of this country. Someone who is led by example his entire life. But Donald Trump, as we've talked about, has this cognitive decline that is picking up rapidly every day, diagnosable by medical professionals who have come out to warn, oftentimes breaking with tradition, about how dangerous Donald Trump is now more than ever. And so we have the contrast of not just the records between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, not only the character of Kamala Harris, someone who has spent her life serving, and Donald Trump, someone who has spent his life serving himself, but we also have the clear difference in Kamala Harris is young. She's the future. Donald Trump is the past. And it's not just that they are different in age, of course, but where they're looking, the places that they want to be, they're different. Donald Trump wants to go back to the past, and Kamala Harris, as she always says, is not going back. Americans are inspired by Kamala Harris's forward-looking vision, while they're off-put and afraid of Donald Trump, wanting to pull us back to his time of divisiveness and anger and frustration every day with our country. And so that is why this election is so clear. And it's why it's so great to talk about these differences, because They couldn't be more cut and dry. We know what our options are. We've seen the records. Let's go out and make it happen. Let's go out. Send Donald Trump packing again. We've done it once. Let's do it twice. Twice is so much nicer. Sounds great to me. And if it sounds great to you as well, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. You join what we are building on this channel, and leave a like if you enjoy these videos. It really goes a long way and would mean the world to me. And until next time, I will see you soon.